Alright. I hope this works. Say something, dude?
Oh, hello. Wow.
Wow, this
That
actually
production
works.
quality.
That production quality, epic. Let me see, something's missing right here. Let me, disable, re-enable. Why isn't this working? This is kind of cringe right now. Okay. Bum. Reload, please. Are you working? Why aren't you working?
Bit of an early start, huh?
This is kind of unfortunate. Give me one moment. Let's open up. Let me fix this stuff really quick. Discord stream kit. I can't present this to the viewers without everything on there, so let me grab the OBS link real quick. Voice widget. Oh, I think it's just bugging right now. God fucking damn it, Discord. Yeah, I think it's scuffed. Yeah, it's bugging right now. So, it will hopefully fix itself somewhere down the line. Let's see. One last try. Nah, Discord is having its epic moments right now. So yeah, hello everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Riven Mafia podcast. I'm your host, Singy, and today I have this specific guest with me, a good friend of mine. His name is Ksilisab. Why won't you say hello, dude?
Hello, it is me, Ksilisab. I am on the Singy podcast, and the production studio is epic. It is a big studio. We're being recorded by 8K cameras, two of them, actually, on huge fucking cranes.
Yeah, like a million cameras left and right with huge cranes, dude. Yeah.
There's a live studio audience as well.
Yeah, live studio audience moment. All right. I hope everything works well on your end, chat. I hope everything is nice and understandable. I hope everything comes through very well. Can I get some response there? How does everything look for you? Is everything working well? Come on, chat.
Stream answer immediately, or I'll kill you.
Answer immediately. All right. Nice. It's fine. Epic. Cool. So, first point of the day. Yeah, I think Discord is having some issues currently. It isn't loading the server invite properly, and I should have, like, on the top left corner, I should have some stuff that notifies whenever somebody of us is speaking, but for some weird reason, Discord is seeming to have some issues, but sometimes you can't really do anything about it. Alright, so what is this? Well, this is the Riven Mafia podcast. Who are we? Well, we're just some people who have interacted with Warframe in the past, or currently. And purple cards, exactly. We played or play Warframe, and we also touched purple cards with our fingers. So yeah, that's who we are. And what is this podcast intended for? Basically, we're talking about shit that interests us, that we have further interest in, that we want to talk about, surrounding Warframe or not surrounding Warframe. Well, that really depends on how we're feeling. So, look forward, if you're into that kind of content, to see what's there to come. Oh, it fixed itself. Epic. See.
Wow.
It's slightly fixing it. Yeah, nice. Finally. Awesome. Just reappeared.
You're supposed to light up too. Nice.
Nice. Alright. So, yeah, we're just talking about a whole lot of shit. About stuff that interests us. So, I've been gone for quite some time due to personal problems, but now it's time to get back to all that stuff that happened. So, I got a long list of stuff to talk about today, to share my opinion, to discuss with both Mr. Ksilisab here and the chat if they want to talk about it. And we're just gonna work it down. So, first of all, first point of the evening, well, melee changes. They shouldn't be called Melee 3.0 yet. Apparently, that's what D is wanting to tell us, but they're melee changes at least, and I wanna talk with you about them in general and like take a look at them with like Riven perspective in mind as well, to just see how they're like overall laid out. So, what were your experiences with and feelings about the melee changes that hit us?
Pretty good question. Well, I have actually a couple opinions about the new melee changes. I generally think, in the broader scope of things, that they were a complete waste of man hours from Digital Extremes, that they were a very unnecessary addition to the game. And I kind of see why they would see melee as something that needs to be worked on, because the system of modding and using melees was kind of, one-dimensional and flawed. But I still believe that the whole melee rework was a waste of man hours, because I personally believe it didn't need to be changed. The biggest thing that hurt me about the melee changes is the fact that Zenistar is now dead. We'll come back to that. And another problem is all all builds are now all builds needed to be changed. There's an entirely new modding philosophy. It's basically more like shit to get your noggin jogging, basically almond activating bullshit that I didn't really need in my life. I don't want to think about new melee builds whatsoever. I want to keep my melee game to a minimum. I want to throw out my Zenistar disc and I want it to do its job. But now with this new melee rework, that's all gone. That's all a thing of the past. And I'm stuck with a cringe melee system that I have to, like, it's just a whole new thing that I'm not used to that just pisses me off. There you go.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say.
I mean, I kind of agree with you. Personally, I feel like the melee changes brought like a lot of fun into the game in some aspects. Like the old stand system has been really yeah, you said one-dimensional, and I think that's something we could agree on. I just feel like the new system has been a little bit like more like movement based. Like it feels a lot more fluent than the old system. Like there are some issues though, as you said before. Yeah, stuff like Zenistar. It's not only Zenistar. Like a lot of melee types that have been pretty much forgotten got completely shafted by the melee changes, because not only have the players forgotten about them, but also Digital Extremes themselves. So yeah, like glaives, for example. You know, they changed condition overload. They changed condition overload to add melee damage now, instead of just amplifying the damage you have been doing in the past. But the issue with what I've experienced, the issue with just adding melee damage in general, results in weapons that have like not a projectile. Well, it is a projectile, but more of like a disc or like something, a part of the weapon that's like thrown out or something. Those they have fixed stats. At least that's how I experience the game. They have fixed stats the moment they are thrown out of your like Warframe's hand, like glaives, Zenistar disc, etc. And those stats can't be modified anymore. So what does condition overload do? Well, it modifies stats. Yeah. So yeah, condition overload doesn't work on Zenistar disc and also doesn't work on glaives, because yeah, that's how it be. The old versions used to work because, as I said, it literally just amplified the damage that those weapons were doing. But With new condition overload, well, they modify stats. Well, it doesn't really work all that well. Like, another thing with I feel like the melee changes are kind of intriguing though, because we have this new system called heavy attacks, and I feel like there are a lot of misconceptions about heavy attacks, and a lot of there's a lot of darkness surrounding like the knowledge with heavy attacks.
Yeah.
I feel like because it's new, pretty much nobody knows how to like properly utilize it yet, if that's even possible. So right now, heavy attacks are in general they just feel very slow in comparison to your other like gameplay, but they're intended to feel slow because they're heavy attacks. But if you're modding for a heavy attack build, you're kinda also locking yourself into only using heavy attacks, because heavy attacks consume all of your combo counter, which is the stuff that actually amplifies your crits or status with like blood rush or weeping wounds on your like light attacks. So it's kind of hard to to find like a hybrid build, and especially when you like consider Rivens, like what stats you actually want. Like in theory you could be like working around making a hybrid build between light and heavy attacks, but well, that's all something I think will only be discovered in the future, if ever, because we know the Warframe community really do be like very very smart when it comes to actually testing stuff out for themselves, or actually trying out new things. Speaking
Yes.
of Rivens, before the way you wanted a melee Riven was that you were trying to get a Riven that replaced slots in your build, because with 8 slots for mods and 1 stand slot, you really don't have a lot of options to like fully maximize the damage output or like utility you can squeeze in there. Like you're pretty much just trying to get like damage, attack speed, range with like negative IPS or something to like weight, proc weight a little bit different, but the positives on your melee Rivens before were really just laid out to be replacements for other mods, because in any case you couldn't really slot something twice. Like there was no real room to slot like attack speed or range twice, you know. But now with the changes, a lot of stuff has become very irrelevant. A lot of mods have fallen out of existence pretty much. I mean, condition overload got nerfed, that's for sure, but it's still like one of the best melee mods possible, right? And since it gives melee damage now, you get pretty much have no space for like primed pressure point on your build, so that would also mean that you also don't really have space on your Riven for melee damage anymore. So which frees up a slot in general, but now people that have Rivens with melee damage on them pretty much have a Riven with a useless stat. Well, more or less useless, but in generally pretty useless, you know. But with like these like freed up slots, like people used to like to run like combo efficiency before, and now combo efficiency is really worthless. Did I say combo efficiency? I mean combo duration.
Yeah.
Like combo duration is completely worthless now, pretty much. Like because you can stack up your combo so fast, it doesn't really matter. So that also freed up a slot technically. So with like melee Rivens now, you're pretty much just looking for like attack speed, range, and like crit damage, so you can like replace 1 or 2 slots maybe in the build, and you can have more utility, you know, just putting in more attack speed, putting in more range, because those are the things that really feel nice, you know. That's how it be. But with heavy attack builds, or potentially even hybrid builds, it's completely different what you want to invest into, and I still feel like that melee in general is like plagued with the slot scarcity, because even with like the 8 slots and the mods we can remove now, it still feels like that we couldn't really make a build that's like hybrid-y with like heavy or light attacks. I don't know, like the melee changes have been out for quite some time now, I guess, but I still don't really know how to feel about like Rivens in like the context with that. What's your opinion on that?
Rivens for melee weapons?
Yeah, like how it feels now. Like in
Massively
contrast.
overcomplicated for my peanut-sized brain.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, also they pretty much like shrunk the pool of actually useful Rivens.
Yeah, there's a big problem now with finding space for like builds. Everything should either be it's really weird. Everything should either be a max hybrid build or a very specific build that needs all these kinds of like crutches and
Yeah.
band-aids on it. It's like a whole tower of shit that you need to build up with Rivens. And you need specific Rivens for specific actions. It's like, oh, just so much more complicated than before. When
Yeah.
I think of the old melee system, I think of like simplicity, fucking elegance, just good, you know, condition overload, fucking blood rush, you know,
Yeah.
everything worked. But now you
Everything
need
worked,
combo
yeah.
efficiency, combo count chance, fucking initial combo in some cases. You don't slot in melee damage. You don't have status to put in like to use condition overload, but then you put in weeping wounds, but then if you do heavy attack you lose all your status, you can't do any damage, so you have to put in combo efficiency, but there's no space for combo efficiency, but there's combo efficiency in Xeneric. Oh my god.
Yeah, like
Like
everything's
an
just very weird.
overcomplicated mess.
Weird and overcomplicated, yeah. I mean, only time will tell what they'll actually make out of this, you know? Like, it's still not full Melee 3.0 technically, so we'll see what they'll be doing, but yeah, I mean, I'm personally like the biggest thing about this is that Melee doesn't really scale that well anymore, like past level like 300 or something, because of the condition overload changes. I mean, when you're talking like gas melee with like a rhino or like a banshee or something in there, you're still gonna just destroy everything. But like just melee on its own, like especially with like the nerf of maiming strike and stuff, doesn't really scale that well anymore, which is like my like biggest like pet peeve with like what they did, because I like sincerely, like honestly, I kind of enjoy like the new stances, like minus a few of them. Like I feel like they generally did a pretty good job on like the animations and like how the new stances feel to use, you know. But
Mhm.
but now, like, I mean, you're dealing more damage against low level enemies, lower level enemies, and less damage against high level enemies. Well, that's kind of what it is, I guess. But as I said, we'll see what they'll eventually like finalize this with, if they ever do it. If the game doesn't die before, you know, then that would be something. Nobody
God
would
forbid it
ever
died.
see that coming. But yeah, you got any finishing thoughts on this topic?
Generally, for me, Ksilisab, the Riven YouTuber, melees have to be very utilitarian, non-flashy. They have to have their purpose. And when I hit E, when I hit my melee button or Q or whatever my melee button is, I want to swing like an idiot and I want everything in front of me to die. And the new melee system makes that a little bit less achievable, a little bit less practical. So, not a big fan. There you go.
Yeah, some dude in chat asked, how do you enjoy DE adding lifted stat to blade and whips in a hot fix? Well, well, sometimes it really feels to me that they don't really play the game, or actually test stuff before they put it out. So, well, that's just a general thing with digital extremes that that they kind of like to push out things that are like, let's say it like this, very unthoughtful. So very unthoughtful. Yeah, it's it's pretty pretty questionable. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next topic I planned for today. Let's go in chronological order. So they released the Kuvalich system.
Yes.
The Kuvalich system. How do you feel about the Kuvalich system?
Well, it is very interesting. I'll explain. Just wait.
All right, dude.
So basically, the first thing a man thinks of when he thinks of Warframe is grinding, working, spending a lot of time, precious time, by the way. We're all in our 20s, you know,
Pretty
early
much, yeah.
fucking late fucking teens, early 20s. We're men, you know, grown men. Time for us is really precious. And what Warframe tends to do is steal a fuckload of your time, which is very expensive. If you thought Warframe was a free game, it's actually like $100,000 if you spend 3,000 hours on Warframe. So your time is valuable. Let me get back to the Kuvalich system.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I got another fucking just for context. You needed to get 5 hours of grinding in a mobile defense mission, basically, to get an Optic or Vandal.
Oh yeah, I did that.
The Thermia Fractures event was basically doing one thing for 100 times for 5 hours until you got your reward. And I thought that was bad. I thought 5 hours of grinding for a weapon was bad until they came up with the Kuvalich system. And we all know it's like RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG. But it's like, if you want, they add so many variables, so many different things that could happen. Like they turn like a 3-hour thing into a 300-hour thing. It's like insanely convoluted. Like you can't even quantify how much grind that is. It's way too much grind. When the Kuvalich system came out early, you couldn't trade liches. You basically had to, if you wanted all dozen weapons, like I don't even know how many cool weapons there were, you had to rely on a complete random fucking chance to get those rolls, and you would always get like huge varying elemental bonuses on the weapons, like from 25 to 60, I think.
Yeah.
Huge RNG. On top of that, you never know which weapon you would get, and on top of that, you have to do fucking rigmarole, fucking guessing which fucking Parazon mod is right. But not only that, you have to grind for relics, and then you have to crack open the relics to get the mods. Like, we all know how much grind this truly is. It's way too much grind. It's such a convoluted, annoying system, a pain in the fucking ass, very not fun, the complete opposite of fun. The lines all the liches say are cringe, bullshit, not serious, wacky, limbo-esque top hat bullshit. I really hate it. The lich system really disappointed me.
But is it worth it though? Like, because of the Kuva weapons, is it worth it?
A lot of the Kuva weapons are side grades, apart from Dragoon and some others. Kuva Chakur is mediocre. It's Arca Plasmor level, basically, in terms of convenience.
Yeah, it has like, it has fucking, how long was it? Like 3.6 second reload or something?
Yeah.
Fucking awful, dude.
Just like Plasma, 3-second reload. It's like,
it just feels like absolute garbage.
Yeah, it's, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't think it's worth it personally.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, like, some of the weapons were like pretty amazing, like upgrades you really like wished you had, you know, like Kuva Kraken, like finally a Kraken variant that's actually worth using, like something that's actually nice. And they gave it the Alt Fire of Pandaro, which is just so much fun on it. Like the weapon, like Kuva Kraken, is really, really nice, like really, really good. On the other hand, you have stuff like Kuva Comb, and for everybody who's like a little bit confused here, just watch my video on YouTube that I did on the Kuva Comb. On the flip side, you have stuff like Kuva Comb that's like literally a downgrade, not only because of like worse Riven disposition, but also because of the changes they did to the actual weapon. Like Kuva Comb has like the worst fall off range you could ever imagine. Like it literally, if you're shooting at max range, like max fall off range, like your damage will be reduced 8 times more than on normal comb. Like it's unfathomable to me how people are actually like saying that this weapon is an upgrade to normal comb. Also, people are saying, oh, Kuva Comb is better if you don't have a Riven mod. Well, not really. It actually isn't. Like, people who say that never actually tried normal comb. Like, this is like the same shit people pulled with like nano applicator comb build back in the days, you know, where people were like, oh my god, comb is so good if you run nano applicator on it and get the full status on it. Like, those are the same people who never tried like just running like 2 60/60 mods and like fire rate on it. Like, and then this fucking knowledge in big quotation marks gets like circle jerked around the entire community, and then you have people telling you every day how great Kuva Comb is. Epic, dude. It really fucking amazes me. That was pretty much like the biggest disappointment like regarding the Kuva weapons for me personally. But in between, you have a lot of weapons that are pretty much just side grades, and I'm kind of disappointed with that. Like, Kuva Carrick, honestly, is just a side grade. And it didn't need to be just a side grade. The thing they did was they just, like, nerfed its IPS spread for no goddamn reason. And now, Kuva Carrick is a side grade. So many people were happy about it being a side grade. Fucking epic style, dude. But, like, a lot of them are also great. What did I say? Kuva Kraken is pretty nice. Kuva Quartex, pretty good.
Right.
Like,
decent.
Like, Brack is, like, really good in comparison to normal Brack, obviously. Like, I haven't never tested the arc gun, to be honest. I imagine it being pretty bad because of its low flight speed.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, Kuva Ayanga. I heard the hammer is pretty nice. I haven't gotten one myself yet, but I know some people who like really got into it. That's pretty good. So like Kuva Dracoon is really nice. Yeah.
Yep.
What else are there? Have I forgotten any? Oh, Kuva Quartek is amazing. Seer is just like Seer but with better damage, but it's still Seer. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot Kuva Tonkor. What's your opinion on Kuva Tonkor?
No opinion. You're asking me about fucking, I don't even know, fucking the ethnic relationships between Chinese people and fucking
Oh, okay. I see.
Vietnamese people. I have no idea.
Yeah, I haven't played around with Kuva Tonkor, but I feel like, especially
Aren't
with
all
like
the explosion weapons fucked.
Yeah, especially with the stealth explosion nerfs they did, like the explosion weapons are very disappointing. Like, for like anybody who didn't know, explosions, when they changed it to be like 2 parts in the UI or something, purely visual, blah blah blah, what they did was all explosion weapons and weapons that have explosion like projectiles, like Tysis for example, they don't have any status chance like modifiers depending on mods anymore. So if you mod for status chance, well, the explosion itself doesn't get the status chance bonus. Fucking great, right? Amazing, dude. Yeah, as they still haven't fixed it and are ignoring my tweets. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, Ogress and Twin Stubbas. Ogress pretty much suffers from the same problem as Tonkor, like the explosion stuff. That's pretty pretty unfunny right there. Yeah, and Twin Stubbas. Well, you know Axolotls being really like good weapon back in the day, right? But now it's kind of underwhelming because it has like very low Riven disposition.
Yep.
Well, Kuva Twin Stubbas are basically Axolotl with better stats and better Riven disposition. So yeah, Kuva Twin Stubbas are really good. So yeah, that's about Kuva Twin Stubbas. Anything else I forgot? Nah, I think that's it for Kuva weapons. Well, my thought in general on this is it's like way too much grind. The main issue is that you can't throw away liches you don't want. It's like the main issue right now. And the weapons generally aren't worth it, aside of a few. A few of them are like really nice upgrades, but pretty much all the other ones are either side grades or downgrades even. But yeah, I mean, like, if you like compare it to the trailer where they originally showed it being a part of like the Empyrean or Railjack experience, which I'll come to later, which will be coming to later, it kind of just feels underwhelming with the way they implemented it now. Kind of like we were like hoping about epic space battles where you like hunt down your lich that has been haunting you for 30 years and then like finally track them down in their ship and kill them. Well, aren't part of the Railjack system yet, the Empyrean system. So yeah, we'll see what they'll do about that. I doubt they'll ever include it now since they already put it out in that way, but yeah, that's pretty much it.
What a bad decision, man.
Yeah, it just feels kind of like they introduced it into the game way earlier than they like originally intended to like satisfy the content drought screamers, you know.
Yeah. You know what would have been a lot better?
What?
Had they released Empyrean with the Kuvalich system at the same time and integrated one into the other. So now what they actually did was the Kuvalich system is a very bare bones grind fest fucking nightmare, and Railjack is a thing with plenty of potential that's also very bare bones, just like everything Warframe releases. A bare bones system that could be built upon, that could be given depth, and they decided to have the Kuvalich system just another bare bones fucking shitty concept that takes like 20 hours of your life away and gives you trash.
Yeah, it gives you nothing. Yeah. Just feels like, especially with Empyrean now out, it just, nobody does that anymore. Like, if they came out together, they would have been like a nice like synergy if it was like done properly, you know. But the way it is now, like nobody cares. Like, move on. We moved on from that shit. Nobody fucking cares. Let's either play Empyrean or not play the game. Like, that's pretty much the decisions you have right now. Nobody's doing Kuvaliches anymore. Yeah, what a disappointment. But yeah, I talking about Railjack later. Well, let's do that now. Railjack, or Empyrean, for whatever reason they fucking changed the name from the expansion to Empyrean. I personally kind of like it. I've heard people with very mixed experiences and feelings about it talk very badly about it. I personally kind of really enjoy it, which might be very like a guilty pleasure for me personally, but that's just how it sometimes be. Like, the issues with like Empyrean was that they released it in a state where it was absolutely unplayable for players that had anything more than 100 ping. Like, they released it in a state where everything was absolutely littered with bugs that weren't even funny, but literally made it unplayable. And then they went on a fucking 72 fucking week break, you know? Then they just left it there, like bare bones, like without without even caring, you know? But the moments, like, from the beginning of playing Railjack, I really enjoyed it because it promotes playing with, like, your buddies, you know? Sitting on Discord, playing with your friends, and that's like something that's like very fun to me personally.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
how do you feel about it?
Well, Railjack, for one, it's like it's a completely new thing that was never before
Oh
seen in
yeah, for
Warframe.
sure.
It is almost like a complete new game. What they've done right was made it very um, visually appealing to me. I really enjoyed Railjack because it brought something new. It gave you completely new experiences. It gave you sort of smooth gameplay. Flying a ship and shooting enemy fighters is actually like it's a mechanic. It's a gameplay mechanic that actually feels good. It feels good to
Yeah,
fly around. It feels good to shoot the ships.
I
It
agree.
feels good to be in the vacuum of space, buzzing around, drifting, doing all that kind of shit, exploring the sentient tile set. Very visually pleasing experience. It's a complete new thing, like almost outside of Warframe itself, which is a boring ass tile based horde shooter. Disgusting. So Railjack for me was really good. I immediately went into the end game, the Veil, and grinded there. Got a top level Railjack in a matter of days, and then when I ran out of content, that was it. I have no more Railjack to play. I looked at everything, did everything really quick, and I consumed all of the content that there was in Railjack. So it's like it was a short-lived pleasure, but you know, it was
Yeah,
better than any other. It was probably the best thing Warframe could probably do. Like
yeah, I
thinking
agree.
back, they if they released anything else, it would have probably been garbage and unsatisfying.
Yeah, I agree. I personally think the main issue that Railjack gives us right now is that there isn't enough of it. Like,
Exactly,
there is
I
no
agree.
content harder than the Veil, which isn't really that hard if you have like all your parts right now. The
Yeah,
thing is, there isn't really like a reason to play anymore after you've reached that point. And I feel like the potential with this game mode to go further and like improve, give us more content, give us more entertaining content, give us maybe like nice storyline to like satisfy these people, you know. Maybe just give us like something very nice in the future. I feel like the potential is there to have a lot of fun with this, but in the state it is right now, like especially people complain about the reactors being overly mandatory to have like a high roll on, and then have you only have like a very low chance to actually get one, and then an even lower chance to get a good one, which is like an absolute RNG fest requiring you to play like way too long, and if you get lucky in the beginning, you're done, you know. But I've read like the patch notes for the next patch like pretty recently, and they said they wanted to change the avionics capacity things for it to not feel that punishing, and like it to be easier to get a good reactor, which is really nice to see. But I feel like this will also induce people to get like everything a lot faster than it was before, and then like there's content drought again. I feel like they really need to put in they really need to like get some effort together and make some good fucking content for this, so we actually have a reason to play, because right now this is actually fun as long as it lasts. Like, this doesn't last forever because it's just done very quickly, you know. But in the time it isn't done, it's actually fun. That's how like these types of games are supposed to be like made, right? But
yeah,
you can't really like you can't really like get a lot of enjoyment out of it if you're done with it already. But like I have a couple issues. They changed how slash procs, or translated to Empyrean status, particle procs work like pretty recently. Before they added an exponentially stacking 30% damage increase, which was absolutely stupid. Like for sure that was stupid that they put it in there in the first place, right? 30%, like who are you kidding, right? But they nerfed it like to the absolute ground to 7.5%, which still, like, I can still kill like cruise ships with my arc gun from my Arcwing, but it just doesn't really feel that satisfying anymore as it was with like the 30% increase, which might be obvious, but yeah. That's kind of, I think they overshot the nerf, which they usually like to do. They might need to like buff it up a little bit, but like one other thing which actually was nice is they buffed like pretty much all the Zetki weapons besides the one everybody was using, Cryophon, right? Yeah, like the Cryophon is good because you only need to shoot once and enemy die. That's how Plasmor and Fulmin work against level 20 enemies. Like, that's what the average Warframe player uses. but yeah, they nerfed the Cryophon both directly and indirectly. They pretty much buffed all the Z-key, which is the house when it comes to weapons that has the highest heat accretion. So meaning you can shoot less in less time because your heat meter is full. They changed that on pretty much all weapons besides the Cryophon to be way less, which is a really good thing because like the primary enemy you would get weapons from in like the Veil, where you get the Mark III parts, the ones you actually want to use was the Exo Outrider, which primarily dropped Z-key parts. So getting all these Z-key parts to actually have a use and that you can actually get a good roll on is a really nice thing, I suppose. I mean, I have a couple Z-key and Vidar and what was the other one? Lavan, right? I have, like, of all like houses, I have stuff that's like almost max in terms of percentage. But out of all the weapons I personally got, the most ones were obviously Z-key, right? But now there's actually like a use for them, besides from discarding them for Dirac because they just heat up way too fast, because now they don't anymore. But yeah, the Cryophon kinda got hit because they reduced its damage, and it also didn't get a heat accretion reduced. So that's a little bit, I don't know. Maybe they should have buffed it as well, but I guess it's become the oh so awful meta in like biggest possible quotation marks already. So yeah.
Dude, imagine railjack gun Rivens.
Yeah, imagine railjack gun Rivens. That would be something some people would be very mad about, I gotta say.
Yeah,
there
make some people cry.
Yeah, there are some people that are really mad about Rivens in general already because they are haters and they don't own any good ones. No, but there are people who complain about Rivens being too much RNG. Well, whatever your own perspective is on that, like, but if they added RNG Rivens to RNG weapons, which we, by the way, already have with the Kuva weapons, but
yeah,
apparently that would be
fine with it, honestly, I don't care.
Yeah, I personally don't care either, but some people would really some people would really get mad at that. Yeah, imagine people buying Cryophon Rivens and then complaining once Dispo gets nuked. Yeah, exactly. Like, that would be funny. Alright, personally, I like Railjank. I think it has a lot of potential that just needs to be used. They actually need to put in the work and make it good. And time has told me that I shouldn't really trust Digital Extremes as a company, but I really want to trust Digital Extremes as a company on this one, because I feel like, as I said, it has a lot of potential, and there's also the potential to much fun to be had. So yeah, that's my opinions on Railjack. What about you?
Railjack, fun blueprint, fun baseline. Work on it more. Give it so much more depth that it feels like a completely new game. And that's it. That's all I want.
Yeah. Railjack fun. Alright. So I've asked people to write me some questions on Discord. So how about we check out if there are any in there that we can actually use and answer them.
It's gonna be tough, but I'll try.
This is gonna be tough to find some. So, CBT Gadgets Engineer asks, can I get a cookie? Well, can you? I guess go grab a cookie jar and get a cookie. I don't know.
No good questions here.
Yeah, dude. Underscore last asks, why do Riven work good so well? Well, because Riven mod good. Thank you. CBT Gadgets Engineer asks again, why would you play Warframe, to be honest? I don't know, mate. Why are you?
I play Warframe because I have a YouTube channel. That's it.
And he's also asking, is Rubico rotting like a corpse right now? Yes.
Yep.
Rubico is at an all-time low in terms of Riven pricing. Rubico is literally dead completely. Rubico is like stuff that would have been like worth like tens of thousands of platinum in the past is now worth approximately 1,000. Like, bruh, Rubico is completely done for. What is the what's your name? Zany asks, what is the ETA of
Estimated
Mafia
time of arrival.
Estimated time of arrival of Mafia taking over the world? Well, as if anybody would tell you that. Oh.
Give me 10 years.
Give me 10 years. Give me 10 years. Zach asks, as a straight white male, why do I think Ksilisab, quotation marks, Serbian prince, is so pee hard? Well, why do you ask us? Ask yourself, dude.
Yeah, that is a question that you need to answer deep inside of you.
Yeah, that's something to contemplate about. So
you describe yourself as a straight white male, yet you get erect at the sight of another man. These are conflicting things. You cannot have one with the other. You can either have one or the other. So you are probably gay, homie.
Maybe.
Stay away from that gay shit.
Wolf asks, what do you think is currently the strongest primary, secondary, and melee when Riven modded? Good question. Good question.
I really
dude.
fucking hate this question, man.
Dude, so strongest primary is Mutilus Conda, strongest secondary is Single Colmac, and strongest melee is Telos Boltes. Thank you. Alright, any more questions in here? Who the fuck is this lone wolf guy? Asked by Zany. Well, ask him yourself, dude.
Awesome builds.
Awesome builds. Alright, I think that's all for the Discord server questions. So, Twitch chat, do you have any questions?
One guy asked the question of a really, really a question that goes like, do you think dread is an intuitive weapon?
Intuitive?
Yeah.
Dread an intuitive weapon? I personally feel like dread is a very
regarded weapon.
Regarded, vengeful and hateful weapon. Ha. Nah, dread is a bow. And you're using a bow in a horde shooter.
Yeah, and you call it intuitive. Why do you call it intuitive? What is it? What does Dread have to do with anything intuitive? I fail to understand.
That's how it be.
What's the thought process behind classifying a weapon as intuitive or not intuitive?
I don't know. Intuitive as in maybe easy to pick up. I think every weapon in Warframe is easy to pick up. Besides Mutilis Quanta. Thanks.
Mutilis Quanta too advanced for the average
too
Warframe
advanced.
player brain.
Mutilis Quanta requiring Chad brain. 20,000 kilograms of pure brain matter. Alright, next question. Der Onkel Moritz asks, real question, is Vectis shit right now? Well, not really. Vectis is pretty good if you have a really good Riven for it. Issue with Vectis is that it's currently in the state where they like nerfed the dispo like quite a bunch, and like it's slowly possibly creeping up again, but not really. And people are really like anxious about buying Rivens, so the prices have dropped quite a big margin, one could say. Yeah.
You gotta also always consider the fact that Vectis Rivens are the rare type of Riven that can fetch 80,000 platinum.
Yeah, there are few rolls, maybe one roll on Vectis that can fetch a lot, but only because it's collector value.
Yep.
Pretty much, yeah. The Club of Jacks asks, who is your favorite Voboril character? I gotta say, it's for sure Toby. I gotta say that. Yeah, Toby, for sure. Jean Lemon asks, who make best guacamoles? Well, Zaki Mom do be making best guacamoles. That's obvious, dude. Tweegat in Twitch chat is asking, if a green rubber cube has 3 wheels, which way is north? Well, spaghetti.
I would have to answer with rigatoni, fusilli, spaghettini, and bucatini. Thanks.
Yeah, Maximum Paybe is saying nothing in Warframe is intuitive. Yeah, maybe you're right on that one. What would you want DE to polish in terms of older content, game modes, everything related to Rivens? Question mark is asked by Soße Bargeld. Well, what's your opinion on that?
What needs to be polished? Well, it's a really good question. Overall, the game needs to be polished. There are so many things, so many. Basically, Warframe is just, it has a million things in it, and they all lack polish. So you have to. I would have to dig in my brain right now for like a whole minute and think of things that would need to be polished.
Yeah, same. When
Oh,
people,
yeah.
when
I got
people, bruh.
Sorry.
All good. When people usually ask me this question, I'm like, I think they should probably hire like the same amount of people in the company they have right now, or even more, in staff, and like fix all the little issues that are in the game that have been piling like up on themselves over all the years. Basically, the game has been made on a very like jittery foundation, you know, like something that isn't really that strong, and then they just built up on it over and over, and now they to fix like the main thing, they would like need to like rewrite everything, which is very inconvenient, but that's just how what they have to do like at some point, you know, because the more they put on top, the more they're gonna do later in theory, or they just gonna let the game die. That's the problem. Like there's so many little issues in the game, like so many bugs, so many like stuff surrounding host migration being bad, that's like unfun. So much stuff that you feel like you have no control over, that just ruins your experience. that they need to fix, which I would personally say should be #1 priority over like in changing like game modes or anything. They should really just fix the little issues first. Maximum Papi is asking, why are you so low brain to think that Mutalist Quanta is good when you have to shoot through fucking balls, you monkey? What the fuck? Well, shooting through balls might be very brain intensive, dude. You just don't understand. Jean Lemon asking, hey man, thanks for the speedy answer. And you're welcome, dude. You're welcome. Alright, thoughts on buffing the living dog shit out of Rhino so I can't die ever.
Play Inaros idiot.
Yeah, play Naros or Revenant. Thanks. Well, Rhino
idiot.
Rhino in his current state has pretty much one ability, which isn't Iron Skin, it's Roar. Because Roar is actually good. Like, everything else in Rhino's kit is kind of underwhelming if you compare it to, like, any other Warframe that could do, like, the stuff better. But yeah, I mean, I guess they could overall Rhino's other abilities a little bit more. Just, they should just, like, make sure to not end up with, like, the Chroma disaster on his Vex armor with Rhino's Roar. That would be really, really disappointing.
Do not rework Rhino.
Yeah, I mean, better not rework Rhino. Maximum Pepe is saying, I lost my respect for Ksilisab when he said it is weird to have bread with spaghetti.
This guy's fucking crazy. He probably dips his mayonnaise into oil. Do not trust what this man says. He's a psychopath.
God damn it, dude.
Probably eats soup with a fork. He does not have any semblance of civilization if he eats a carb with another carb. Bread with pasta. You're fucking crazy, man. Then you eat this wheat product with this other wheat product. Fucking
epic.
Crazy.
Moritz is trying to sell my hair. No, oh no. Well, MG4497 is asking, what do you think is coming first? Nyx rework Zephyr Deluxe or Hydroid Prime trailer? Well, I think Clem Prime Gricada will come first, dude, honestly.
Big Chungus Gricada Clem XD.
Yeah. Clem Prime Gricada Big Chungus Versio.
There was another Nyx rework announced, or is the guy just joking?
I'm pretty sure he's just joking.
Okay.
Beekeeper Creeper is asking, do you think a / Cronin is strong? Possibly.
Sure.
Yeah, sure, why not? Like, the other stats would need to complement, obviously. I mean, just having / on your Cronin with, like, plus infested or something, plus infested plus status duration won't really make a good weapon. But if you have other good stats, like actually good positives on your Riven, that's gonna be good. All right. Any more things? Zose Bargeld is asking, I feel like Riven's added most to the replayability of Warframe. That obviously depends on the player, though. Yeah, I agree. Like, I know a lot of people who actually, like, where their only reason to still play Warframe is to buy, sell, and use Rivens. Like, I've seen people literally do nothing else than do that and just have fun with the game. Like, just like not even like rolling Rivens is kind of a pain because it's just so random, but just like playing with Rivens is really, for some people, it's really a lot of fun. I personally enjoy it a lot. So I know a lot of people who enjoy it a lot. What's your opinion on that, dude?
On Riven mods adding replayability. Okay, well, yeah. Rivens are really probably the one element in Warframe with the highest amount of depth. So number one, you gotta grind for Kuva. Bit of a hassle, a bit of a grind, but whatever. Basically, the Riven rolling system is a gigantic slot machine, which it adds that unknown factor, that mystery, that addictive part. It keeps you coming back for more. It keeps you rolling Rivens. You never really know what you're gonna get. It feels rewarding to roll a good Riven. It feels rewarding to own valuable Riven mods. Um, it's really satisfying to bring a shitty weapon like out of the gutter with a really good expensive Riven mod and out damage like meta scrubs with like a trash primary with a really insane Riven mod. It's really there's a huge amount of depth into trading and hustling Riven mods. There is also fucking I don't even know, man. It's just a whole bunch of depth into Riven mods. Like people get attached to Riven mods just because they're such a big like aspect of Warframe.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, like, when I got back into the game, I took like a long break, right? When I got back into the game, it was still mostly like want to sell Prime Set X and Y, you know? But like over the time I've been like just playing the game, like the trade chat pretty much only shifted to selling Rivens, like completely. Like nobody even bothers selling anything else in trade chat anymore. Like people just resort to like Warframe Market, and like trade chat is just filled with Rivens, for example. But yeah. Upon popular request, should I answer Club's question? All right. Smash, marry, or avoid? Dread, LP, or CG? Good question. Let me think. It's probably it's probably Marry Dread. Probably avoid LP and smash CG. Probably. All right. What is this question? All right. Avon asks, do you think we are going to see a Warframe 2 anytime soon? Well, I personally have been joking about Warframe 2 coming out 2035 when everybody gets unbanned. When everybody gets unbanned, that's why the permaban restriction is set to 2035, because at that point they're just gonna release Warframe 2 anyways. Good question. I don't know. I really don't know. That would be probably a very weird business decision to do, in my opinion, though.
Yeah, not wouldn't do any good to Warframe, but if they decided to abandon the insane amount of spaghetti code and instability that comes with Warframe, Warframe 2 could be a completely clean slate where they take the best parts out of Warframe and build it on a new foundation. Maybe introduce things like flying. If you click on navigation, you'd have to fly your ship or railjack to the planet itself or the node, and then do the mission. Maybe have it first person instead of third person. Introduce completely new like modding systems and stuff like that. There's a If Warframe 2 were to be a thing, it would probably be very interesting, but it's like a real that's a stretch. D is not gonna fucking make Warframe 2.
Yeah, I mean,
Warframe is probably like a 20-year fucking plan.
yeah, probably, or it's or it's Chinese money laundering. You never know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Warframe 2 would probably be a good idea if they actually decided to just trash Warframe because the code is too bad, and just start all over with like actual good code. As you said, that would actually be a pretty good idea, but I don't see that happening anytime soon.
Yeah, no. That's too optimistic.
Yeah, Warframe would be completely unplayable without Riven mods. I agree. Because
it'd be boring.
Well, boring for sure. The issue is just that we have like 8 slots on our weapons, which we can fit mods in, and a lot of builds to like properly utilize the weapon require more than 8 mod slots in theory, and Riven mods give you up to 3 or even like 3.5 if you count the negative mod slots to like actually fit a good build. So yeah, I agree, fully agree on that one. What's your opinion on minus IPS mods, either Ksilis or corrupted style with reload, projectile flight speed, or other QL positive mod? Dude, I thought about this. I thought about this like a couple months ago, and I was like, yeah. This was before Ksilis, by the way. I thought about this, and was like, yeah, that would actually be pretty nice. Only real issue with it would be that it actually eats a mod slot, which are like the most valuable resources you could have on a melee build. And yeah, but then they introduced weapon Ksilis slot, the weapon Ksilis slot, and I feel like that weapons like that would that mods like that would be pretty much perfect for that, because we don't really have a lot of options currently when it comes to Ksilis. You pretty much only have flight speed. What else you have? Recoil, ammo mutation, and like accuracy. That's pretty much all you have. And if you don't want to slot like full, if like not any of these fit properly, like, or are needed in the build, you'll probably just add like vigilante supplies for like primaries to get more like vigilante buff or something. So yeah, like adding these mods would be really nice for like saturating the options of possible like Ksilis mods more. You mentioned reload. I'll never, I don't think they'll ever introduce reload for Ksilis slots though, so, but probably with like flight speed or something. Maybe. I hope we would see those. That would be pretty nice. Maximum Pepe asks opinions on Baruch. Well, I gotta give it to you. I gotta say it to you. Baruch isn't that great. Like, there are like other Warframes that pretty much do what he does, just better. And I just feel like I feel like the concept of Baruch was a little bit misguided from the dev team. They probably could have made something better and like more generally useful out of him. But the way he's like right now, I feel like they've already forgotten about him. Like they're not trying to like make him better or something. I feel like they've just forgot about him. That's pretty much.
I'm so glad they forgot about him.
Yeah.
Every recent Warframe design has been an uninspired, low effort piece of shit. Like, they exhausted so many ideas for Warframes. There's literally no more space for new Warframes to be made. Like,
Yeah.
creating a new creatively designed fun Warframe is becoming so difficult that they thought a fucking retard with a man bun and a skirt and would be an interesting concept. And they're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this is the Tranquility Warframe." When they first revealed it in a dev stream, it's like, what was that plane? When somewhere in Plains of Eidolon, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
They introduced Baruch and is like, "Oh, this is the peaceful Warframe." Wow.
Yeah, I mean there isn't really a place for peace in a game that has
It's
war
the
in
most
its
fucking
title.
retarded
You know?
thing I've ever heard. By the way, the name Baruch. Oh my god, hardcore cringe. It just makes me like Baruch's existence, along with Limbo and other wacky Warframes, just angers. Like, it makes me angry. Like, their sole existence is just such an unnecessary addition. Just like Nora Knight. Like, who the fuck is this stupid bitch? Who the fuck is Nora Knight? Get the fuck out of
Dude.
here.
Fucking Nora Knight, dude. Yeah. Alright. Next question. So Warframe 2 would have no Conclave. No, dude, you're getting it wrong. Warframe 2 will be only Conclave. Epic. Alright. Do we Zose Bargeld is asking, do we have any scaling rewards in endless missions? or at least scaling Kuva for Kuva survival. I forgot. Well, we kind of have that now with what are they called? Requiem Fissures. If you have like a Requiem Fissure survival, you'll get the Fissure buffs, the ones after cracking certain relics, which scales up to, how much was it? Like plus 100% resources or something?
Yeah, either 100 or 200%.
Yeah, but after that it kind of stops. So what kind of? It literally stops. But yeah, that's pretty much what we have as scaling rewards for Kuva. Yeah.
Kuva, Requiem Kuva survival is really, really fast and really worth it.
Yeah, pretty much. You just gotta do it.
What we have.
You just gotta do it for a long time. Alright. Club of Jinx is asking, what is your opinion on Riven Communist server? Sad it died out was a good idea. Not it was kinda against terms of service though, so no thanks. I'd sacrifice one mod slot for minus impact on like 90% of weapons, to be honest. Well, it depends on how much a mod slot is worth. Like usually a mod slot is worth like a lot, because you're basically adding another multiplier, which increases your damage by like quite a margin. I mean, just for like quality of life, having minus impact, I don't think 90% would cut it. I just feel like wasting a mod slot wouldn't like be that great in general. Best 8 is asking, do you think large is a cool word? Nah, dude, I think huge is a better word. Baruch 2 is still a better Nyx. Well, the only thing Nyx is good at is being fast with the premium vintage arcane helmet. Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing Nyx is good. If you don't want to play Nova and don't want to play Vault, play Nyx. Baruch's melee shockwave do not even account to his combo counter, which is pretty bad. Yes, that's kind of unfortunate. Maximum Pepe is saying there are so many new Warframes who could use touch-ups / augments, and they would be not shit. Imagine them not being bad and just spam adding Warframes. Yeah, dude, imagine the Digital Extremes actually caring about what they put out, dude. I couldn't. I always hope they do, but I can't really imagine that. I'm sorry. They also completely forgot to buff exalted weapons with melee chain. Yeah, they did. I mean, dude, exalted weapons, what even are those? What even are those, dude? Why even care, man? Why care? We added so much, added so much different shit to our game. Why even care, dude? Alright, Bez, good luck. Moritz is asking, what is the worst weapon in-game without a Riven? It's Queller. Pretty much it's Queller. Would you agree?
Normal Spectra.
Nah, I think Queller is worse, honestly.
Alright, let me think.
Think about it.
Mark 1 Kunai.
Dude. I feel like Mark 1 Kunai would be better, but yeah, Queller, basically Queller is a fully automatic rifle in big quotation marks. It has like super slow fire rate, and its alt fire is it shoots like a shockwave. That, how much ammo does it consume?
75.
And what's mag capacity?
300, so you get 4 shots.
So you get 4 shots, and then that thing has 4-second reload. Like,
such a piece of shit. Man.
It's so bad. It just feels so bad to use. Yeah. All right. We've been here for quite some time now. I want to thank everybody of you for turning in, for listening to us ramble about stupid shit in Warframe. I want to say that I'm trying to do this like as a regular thing. I'm currently a little bit busy, so it might not be like exactly like 1 week or like a couple of days from now, but we'll see when I feel like doing this. At least in the long run, it's intended to be a regular thing. So you might be excited for that. Dude, Moritz, I got more viewers than you because I advertise in like 20 different Discord servers. That's why. Well, they kind of just here to meme anyways. So I don't know. So yeah, I'm trying to do this a little bit more regularly. This is gonna be uploaded to my YouTube right after I'm done after we're done with this. I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube channel, which you can find under bit.ly/Singi with a capital S because that matters for some weird reason. Also check out my homie Ksilisab here, which you probably know already.
Yeah, everybody knows me here.
Everybody knows you there. Yeah, in the top right corner, there's the link to the Discord server we're talking in right now. By the way, if you want to join and get notified about upcoming podcast episodes and shit, you gotta join that if you want. You can just talk to us, have some fun. I'll see how this goes in general. I'll try to make the next episodes maybe a little less scuffed. I feel like this one was like pretty scuffed already. we'll see what will happen. Of course, thank you very much for watching. If you want to follow, you should probably follow this channel. Or probably not. I don't even know. Do whatever you want. Alright, thanks again for watching. Follow my socials, lol. And take care. Have a nice evening. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.